Okay, now the Kuan Kong Chung Kwan pattern has ancient roots and was originally composed to provide health, personal safety, and a philosophical understanding of the importance of a body-inclusive learning system. See, now this is the philosophical understanding of the importance of a body-inclusive learning system. And that's like a mouthful. Now we're really learning. I believe this is actually the case because you have to play, as Paget said, a little bit of play is the thing to learning. And actually this adds to it. But there's a way to think about there's a way to understand this idea of a body-inclusive system. But see, a body-inclusive learning system means that you're trapped by your emotions and you're trapped by your sensory input. And how do you expand that? So how do you eliminate the emotional play and expand the sensory input? How do you really do that in the kata? And of course you're going to say everybody has to say by emotions, by imagination. I suppose you could have somebody chasing around the kata ring with a stick, but I mean, in this age we expect that the government will provide a long and comfortable life and our inheritance will provide the means. The upshot is that the reason for practicing the arts have changed and with it the methods. See, if the reasons change, the methods change. Don't they? Of course. And we provide a fantasy now in which the player can pretend to feel the exhilaration of combat, the joy of conquering the opponent, the pleasure of parading around in a black belt. And attainment of great talking points in the advanced highfalutin status of a mysterious guru. Okay. The Kuan Kong presents different patterns. The form is reasonable, calming, and salubrious, as well as being a ferocious fighting lesson. What does salubrious mean? Anybody know? Healthy, right? Like those found in many martial arts, the actions of the Kuan Kong are truly of ancient origin. The root of the form is the ancient Tongsu Chung Kwan pattern, which predates the Chinese era of three kingdoms, part of which is now identified in Korea. And I'd like to comment that the second form is very, very close to this and can almost put on as five as the Okinawan Shinto. Which the history is that the guy was wanted to learn some forms. This Chinaman that was evidently doing this form all the time, and he's out in a corner on a rock or something like that, and kept doing this form constantly. And finally, this Okinawan convinced him to teach him this kata. And so it was a crane on a rock, and so the Shinto is really from it's a Chinese form, and it has the same elements that you would find within the Kuan Kong, except it's not as complete, as broad. Okay. Now, this is a historical perspective and subsequent functional accuracy of the Kuan Kong Chung Kwan pattern can be grasped by the advanced practitioner through the physical inculcation of the information embedded in the individual actions and the systemized structure of these actions. That means if you don't do the actions correctly, you won't get functional accuracy. And functional accuracy then will enhance your historical perspective. Besides having a firm technical base, these forms also represent a valuable philosophical foundation. The collateral philosophies are ingeniously embedded in the performance of the pattern, and practices of there will provide mentally beneficial. Development and research have instituted the Kwanbu exercises, which are ancient hand sets reconstituted for the modern era. Embedded in the hand sets are many traditional Chinese hand actions that are broader cognate forms, nowadays called taijutsu. Now, these hand forms all the time through this thing changes, and so you guys this isn't a beginning class here, and so the way you use your hand and things, there's a really big difference on this. And so today when we do the forms, I'm really going to concentrate on the difference between what's fast, what's slow, what's powerful, what's supposed to be here, and what's there for all you people. The continuous movements and smooth flowing actions of Kuan Kong produce an apparent effortless driving power, reminding the Westerner of an acclaimed singer who can produce great resounding tones with no apparent effort, in contrast to the singer who makes a great physical effort to produce a loud volume, but in fact actually suppresses loudness. Now our power in this form rises from the smooth coordination of muscle contractions, which do not include forced tensions designed to provide feedback to the performer and impress other people. See, when we do like this, when we do this kind of thing here, sometimes we're looking for our own feedback. When you're punching and you contract the muscles, you're looking for your feedback and technique. So An example of this is when you're doing something, a kick, for example, and it doesn't feel powerful to you. And you know everybody in here does some kind of techniques, and the technique feels weak and insipid. It doesn't really feel powerful, and you are not happy with that. And when you do a technique, you want it to feel powerful. You don't want to, like this. You want something like that. See, Bob, Mama, it's this kind of thing here. If come over here. If Bob's in this position, and say we're running the first one, with Bob, I'm moving from here, 1, 2, from here, 1. See this one here? You want this? I don't see that, but I see this. See, this should also be, but I don't see that. I see this regardless. This I don't see that. Why shouldn't this be same way? And I know when you were doing the form yesterday, even you grandmasters on the floor here, the Dai Shihans, made that single error. I didn't say anything about it because I wanted to wait for today. But that error was there, nonetheless. And that error should have been self-corrective. But it wasn't. Why not? The form shows strength, suppleness, and incorporates the concepts of striking while in motion and striking and moving and striking again. Lock and punch should be replaced by strike and move. That's the better way. So in the second technique, when we strike, boom, we're moving, aren't we? 1, 2. Bob, come here again. And I want you to sit up here because I might use you again. In the same sense, if we're moving, if I'm over here and just technique, basically, he's punching and I go 1, I'm moving, aren't I? So all the way through this technique, he's punching, and I hit from here, and I'm moving. I'm always in moving, striking and moving. See, so that's another element of these, thank you, of these techniques that you have to look at because they're all striking and moving. There's very few of these techniques where you stand still because these techniques you hit and move instantly. 1, 2, 3, like that. And so this is found, this is where it varies because remember, a lot of times in the Japanese form systems, you lock and everybody looks at you and you smile and then you continue. It's whether you photo op. So that has to be looked at. Now, we should have to go back on this and look for these 2 pages, and they have to be gone over again. And I don't see how we can do the form without them. Correct understanding and performance of the Kuan Kong Chung Quan requires a comprehensive study of the following important factors: expressed impulses, desires, and feelings. I'm on page 13. Every art encompasses 4 things, and are content, form, message, and means. Brian, give me that. Content, form, message, and means. Give it to me again. These are expressed by the element of what? Okay, you got to memorize that. That's absolute. If you took a course in dance at the university, if they didn't, that's a course that they'll flunk you on that. That's absolute memorization. Movement has 3 facets to be considered, basically. Locomotor, axial, and a combination of the 2. Now, what's the locomotor, Mike? The actual movements of walking, running, and leaping, so on. The actual movements of locomotor. What's axial? Jim? Yeah, axial is the pendulum actions, sustained actions, percussive actions, propulsive actions. You have pendulum, when you push off, when you jump, right? When you hit, these are axial actions. And then you have a combination of the 2. So you know, the locomotor and axial are 2 terms that you would use constantly in your way of describing things, and with any kind of dance form or any kind of form like this, locomotive and axial. You don't want to forget those because you cannot think correctly about these forms without those terms being embedded, right? See, inculcate means something specific, right? A Chevrolet is something specific. When you say, let's get there, that doesn't enough. See, that doesn't, you understand what I'm saying, right? Okay, space, time, and force are bound up in movement. In space, you have 5 things: direction, body position, dimension, movement, to or from the gaze, and floor pattern. Now, those 5 things you have to remember. This is part of the instructor's course. You'll have to memorize this. This stuff has to come. You have to have this. You have a test on this. Time is 3 elements of time: tempo, beat, and accent. The accent is a really important thing here. And the accent can be regular or syncopated. I'm accenting it. See, it's a syncopation. Force is their dynamics and quality. Force is also a range of intensity of the moment. Strength and agility are needed to expand the energies necessary for its application. So when we speak about dynamics, we talk about force, we're going to talk about quality of force, which means what? Without looking at your paper, what does it mean? What does quality of force mean? What? Well, it could be pop, 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 pop. That's staccato. Legato, that kind of thing. They both have force. They're both a different kind. Actually, it's more like what they call rubato, but it's those are Italian words. Now, going on to the next page, what you have to do on this form. During the performance of the Kwang Kong Chung Kwang pattern, careful attention should be placed on the element of relaxation. You got to relax in the form, and you got to know when to relax. And in many cases, the application of the maximum power is diminished by the type of braking action necessary for stop distance controlled techniques, such as the 4-fist punch found in Japanese karate. And how do we control the braking action of the techniques? For example, you come by with a hand technique like this. Is that got to go pop, or does it set out? How does that work? How do we actually, when we turn around, we punch? We're here, and we turn from here, and we go 1, 2. How do we control this action of this? Well, that's one way. No. Of course we have, yes? Well, that's true too. Give me another thing. Yeah, the positioning of the technique is so important, the position of the technique, and the fact that this technique is writing on this. See, if you're doing it alone, you have one thing. But if you're running, here, my phone's ringing on my desk. If you go 1, 2, then one technique rides on top of the other. And so you can't lock the body like this, because the hara that's supposed to lock this stuff is what the lower connection is moving to. So that means, like, if you're running down the street and you're punching, you can't use the regular punching lock mechanisms. They're disenabled. So you have to use other mechanisms. Is that right? So in this thing here, where it's just like, if I had to run around the gym and somebody run around, you're supposed to be a real strong ki and shout with a punch. You'll absolutely put the brakes on the running when you stop and punch. You can't keep running, you can punch at the same time. You could try it, but you find you won't. The punch will be insipid. So we have this problem of floating one technique on top of another. So this strike while moving is really brought through on this. And this brings in the power through movement. So the power through motion is best applied with the open hand as our most move through the target techniques. So if I'm hitting here like this, I'm actually moving right through the target because my hara is continuing, not because I'm pushing my hand through. And this coordination of these two things is what's very difficult in this form. Okay? In these move-through techniques, the wrists assume a critical role. The shape of the hand is actually a shape of the hand-wrist, which mandates a powerful and stabilizing wrist and forearm. So whether your thumb is here, or your hand is, the way the hand is formed also controls the way it goes out. If you don't believe so, put your hands out like this. Then turn your fingers over like this and push them out. Is there a restriction on how far out you can go? So if you put your hand like this, you see it doesn't go out as far as it does this way. So this is the shape of the hand wrist. Now if you put your thumb in or thumb out, put your hand out like this, turn your thumb in and turn it out. And as you turn your thumb in, you feel different muscles contract in your forearm. So you have actually different kinds of hands that are made in this form. Initially, the students don't have to worry about that, but the seniors should, because it's one of the really fine points. Many actions of the Chung Quan are exercised in wrist-hand forearm functionality. Full deliberation must be assigned in the functional expression of these movements. Okay, the angle of the elbow placement then becomes of vital importance. The angle of the forearm is, of course, set by the wrist and shoulder, the correct alignment of which permits the transfer of power from the legs and torso to the striking weapon. So you see, all you guys are really right on your idea. You're right on the money on what you're talking about. So you're absolutely correct, and you're correct, and you're correct on this. The power through motion is best applied with the open hand, as are most move through the target techniques. In these moving through techniques, the wrist assumes a critical role. The shape of the hand is actually a shape of the hand-wrist, which mandates a powerful stabilizing wrist and forearm. Accordingly, many actions are exercises in wrist, hand, forearm functionality. Full deliberations must be assigned to the functional expressions of the movements. And the importance of the elbow placement then becomes of vital importance. The angle of the forearm is, of course, set by the wrist and shoulder, the correct alignment of which permits the transfer of power from the legs and torso to the striking weapon. And that becomes real clear. Now, all movements should be integrated with the breath. Despite powerful actions, the form of tranquil mind and relaxed body must override everything. Most of the actions of the form are continuous and circular, which must be in absolute contrast to the stop actions. There must be a clear demonstration of movement dynamics of the two kinds, locomotive and axial. Two kinds, locomotor and axial, is that correct? And we're going to use those terms, won't we? Axial meaning what? Pendulum, percussive, leaping, all the things in motion that aren't movement. Right? Some movements start with the feet, others from the heart, and still others from the small of the back. Now, the small of the back is a really funny thing, because you don't hear about that much in karate, and we have to worry about the small of the back. Good. Any questions? No, be really nice on it. Don't you get watch? 1, 2. Be real cool. Now your feet aren't like this when you start out. Come up to the form and let your feet just sort of ease in and make a really graceful action. Okay, now 1. Now the hand is here. It's not here. 1, 2, 3. The hand is out, and don't put your thumb this way. You're striking something, and the thumb has to be held back, because if you hit this thumb clunko, you're in bad shape. So you're hitting with this. 1, 2, 3. And the hand's held out and as flat as you can. Don't do this unless you have to. Keep that hand flat. Lucinda, come forward here. Watch. Lucinda, where'd you go? Come on over here. Watch. Make your first action. This is exactly correct. Watch. Yeah. Just like this. See how the hand is flat and straight? Just like it's up and down. That hand has to be flat and the arm straight. And down the shoulder level. Just like it's straight out, and you're looking right down the gun sight. I'll try it again. Okay? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Okay, the hand's flat out. Okay, now the other way. 1, 2. Hands flat out. Carl, not like this. Bring your wrist back. Pull reach out and pull it back. Okay? Got it? Now, let me ask you, what stance are you in? Are you walking forward, or are you in a leap? This is a leaping stance, okay? It doesn't have to be a perfect leaping stance, but this is a leaping stance. So I'm like this. My hand's flat out there. Flat, okay? Let's try it again from the beginning. Okay, 1, 2. Now, did you notice something strange here? Whenever this hand goes out straight, this one changes. But this way is like this. So when all of a sudden this hand goes out, this hand changes. It's funny. You can't push this out flat without this one making a change. And try it again. Baby. 1. Snap it out there. Make that hand flat and straight. That has to be actually straight out there. Just like this. Out. Straight. Okay. All right. Here. Okay. Make that hand as flat as you can. There's no reason not to. Okay. 3. 1, 2. Now, I see that again. When this comes in from here, the kick is here. It's not a high kick on this one. If you want to kick here, this is okay. But remember, if you want to kick the groin, the knee still comes to here. You don't kick the groin like this. If you keep the knee down, this is a little more like a kneecap. So the knee has to come at least mean. So from here, that means the knee has to be within about 6 inches of your arm. So turn from here again. 1, 2, kick, 1, and bring your hand in. There's your hand into your stomach. Back kick. 2, 1. Fundamentally, right? Let's see it again. 1. Good. Now, as much as you can, this is grasping so the thumb can come out. Don't splay your fingers. Okay. Now, from here, it presses down 1 and out 2. Now, this hand, again, is that doggone palm that's flat. And I do this too, and don't you be doing that one. The palm goes flat out. The thumb is not tucked. The thumb on this is a flat hand. This is a willow leaf palm. A willow leaf palm means the hand's like this. Put the hand straight out. Thumb up, thumb up, thumb up. This is like that. It's a willow leaf palm. Okay, this hand straight. Okay, now so we're from here. We just came down. Now from here, 1. This is a pass punch. Same thing here. 2. Now the correct place for this hand, the turn was said, stand again like this. 1, 2, push. 2, kick. 1 is right up. The toes should just clear this hand. Get back and put your hand out here again. Put your toes right here. See, the toes should be passed right in front of the hand, correctly on the form. If you can't do it, that's okay, but don't be aware that that's where it goes, okay? All right. Okay. Now, what I'm doing here, Michael reaches for me. So I don't want to bring my hand beyond me here. From here, I'm going, no more than this, see? 1, 2. This 1, action. That's right. Watch my hand. 1. I've just been here, right? I've just on the 1, 2, kick. Then 1, 2. The hand goes right from here. Let's get back again. 1. Okay, now right from here, you see your 1. That's correct, right? Your arm. Get that thumb out of there and get that arm straight. 2. Willow leaf palm, no thumb in. That's a mark of karate people. And you're going to break your thumb just as sure as Moses goes. 2. Then 1, 2. Okay, now what he's doing here on this one here, fundamentally, he's hitting here, this way. So don't hit too flat with the hands. He's coming up and he comes this way. So when I'm coming from here, 1, 2. See, that's right. Yes, it comes back, 1, 2. Is that my telephone, Carol? Somebody else's. Okay, back and make that a little pass again. But see, this is really important to the form because this is a part that actually is the weakest in the kata. I just come down here. 1, say 1, 2. That's the part that has to, Brian, come here. Do it from here, watch. Go that way. Yeah, no, you're going to go that way. You see, boom, 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 boom. You go right down there. Now you can do it any way you want to, but that feels best. Okay, now, right from here, go. Good. See, now that's better. Try it once more. Go from there. Now that you know the concepts, there's no sense in us at all. Let's do it this way. We don't run into each other. Lucy, go first. Go. First row. Second row. Third row. Okay, you guys all get in a row, and once you come up here, somebody come here. Come on, you're up here. Okay, good. Now, see how we do that? Now we're organized, getting better organized. Now from here, we turn right around immediately. 1, 2. Turn around, back fist, 1, 1, 2. Okay. And of course, drop your body. Good pass. Good enough. Now, the thing on this action is that if you're down here and you're down like this, is immediately before you kick, put your heel back this way. Roll back and put your heel back and drive your back kick and then turn. Okay. That's correct. Let's see that pass again. Now I'm going to watch this Brian drop down here on this first one. Now watch, he's going to rise on the heel here first. See, watch it once more. Watch how this works. Lucinda, Mary, do the same thing. Oh. Watch. Watch, this is a different action, but it's the same thing. Watch. Same thing, just like this. 1, drop down, 2. See how that it eliminates that 3 or 4 actions. We were doing some kind of a double action there. You understand? Okay, now let's all try it. Let's get from here. Okay. Drop down 1, go down 2. Now from here, don't worry about being a psychic. Bring your heel up and just drive backwards. 1, and let it turn you around. Good. Now that came out of 1 action. See, that's better. Let's do that again. That's fine. I think that's fine. Okay, drop down 1, hit 2. Now just bring your heel up and a back kick. Go. See, if you bring your heel up in a back kick, you don't have to worry about turning because there's no other thing to do. If you bring your heel up, if you're down here like this, and you bring that heel in a back kick, you're going to turn. There's nothing, you can't avoid it or you're going to fall on your ass. So I don't know why, Brian, come here again. If that being the case, why are you doing, just make the action. He put his foot down. Now watch it again. Watch it, you see what's different here. Watch. He didn't recover his leg. He merely kicked, and then he put his foot down in some place he wouldn't fall on his ass. And that in itself was a recovery. Now watch Mike Duffy do it. Watch. He's going to come up and he's going to drop down 1, 2. Now he's going to bring his kick. No, you recovered his leg. And that recovering your leg, like that recovering your leg after you're out of the kick, is a killer donor on your ass. I mean, that's really bad on your hips. Yeah, just drop it and go. It's perfect. Absolutely perfect. That's perfect. You understand what I mean? Let's see you. That's perfect. Because when you turn, you can't do anything. See, what happens if the leg's out here and you're going forward, there's no sense bringing it back here before you put it out there. If I'm kicking and I'm moving forward, I'm going to put the foot here where I'm moving. It's the same thing with a back kick. If you're going that way, put the foot under you, not way back and take it out again. That's like going forward on a punch. Same thing. Try it. Let's see it. Yeah, for all, you see, it isn't falling out there. That's exactly right. Now that makes a big difference in that action because that action is easy to do. Okay, let's get back here again. Right here. That's very good. I'm very satisfied with that. That's very easy. Good. Okay, now 1, go drop down 2, and take that back foot and just drive it and put it down and punch. Aha! Bingo. Try it once more. Bingo. What? Okay. There you go. 1. Go. Missed it that time. Try it once more. You're doing fine, Les, so if there's a mistake, I'll tell you. You don't have any trouble with that one. Okay, 1. Now just show your foot. Go. 1, 2. That's it. Now that's it. That was correct. Absolutely correct. Now stand up. 1. Now this one here is the same thing, but people are going in a circle. But let me give you an alternate way to do this. You're here. You're merely going to hit with the thumb down. This from here. It's the same action you did before with the thumb down, but because the thumb's down, you cannot extend your arm or you'll pop your elbow. So when the thumb, well, to some degree, boxing actually they don't. So when from here you press down and thumbs down, just like that. Thumb down. Go 1, 2. Okay, kick. Thumb down 2. Kick. Now scrub. You can't do that wrong. Almost impossible. Turn your body. Nope. Now John did it wrong. Watch how he turned his body. That's right. So you've got to watch my hat. I'll do it real slow. Can you see I'm standing here? I'm turning 1, 3. So let's stand like this and take your hand and put your right hand under your left elbow. Like this. And then turn and pop your hand out. Under your left elbow, John, not beside it. That's right, just like that. 1, 2. Just do this a couple times. That's the way you turn, okay? From here, and just turn. 1, 2. Now, this is where we're, why don't you get in front of, let me get a good place for you. Let me put you right over here in front of Sherry, would you? Between you two guys, that's probably better. Okay, now, from here, you think you see it, but you step out. Just step out, just step out. No, I want you to step out forward. See, you don't want to maintain the stance. This time you step out, you straight forward. The foot actually comes in. That's right, in a very Okinawan way. Shorten the stance, and when you come in, you push with your hand. Straight there. So we're standing here as the foot goes. Now, see, there's a difference here. Now, see how I'm at right this on the form? First off, I'm here. My hands are inside my foot. And when I push, my hand is right over my foot. Okay? So I'm from here. My hand goes right over the foot. And this hand here, I pop right where my main, point your finger like you're giving it the finger. Go 1, go right there. Yeah, but you did. See what happened? You did this. Watch my hand. 1, 2. Straight. That hand from out here goes this way. It doesn't go anywhere else. And hands from here. 1, 2. Push it out. Push 1. Out. Hit. That's right. And really fast. Okay, now we turn the other way. Make your hands the loop turn. The same thing here. And pop it. 2. Now we turn. If you put that turn too forcefully, you're too certain, you cut half the form off. You got it? Let's try from here again. We're from here. Push out. And hit 2. Really fast. Now turn, let your body loop. Push out. Hit 2. Now turn. Don't make that turn after the hit. There's a hit and then the turn. Okay, try it again. Make it separate. 1, 2. Turn your body. 1. Push out. You didn't push out in front of you. Push out in front this way. Step 1. Now hit 2. Now turn. Now you can combine those, but you can't shortcut that stop. Now again, you aren't pushing out straight with your left foot. Start again. 1. The left foot actually comes in, goes out this way, so you're angular. 2. Bring your body back. Now your right foot will move in when you push out. That's right. Hit. 2. Body back. Turn. Okay. Lead the form. The whole thing without interruption. There are the kicks. Good, Mike. That's correct. Good. 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 Keep your thumb down. Remember, this isn't very good stance here. Try to get the front kicks up. Brian? Okay. There's two different views of the same you know, both of those are absolutely correct. You get away with one of Brian's kicks on that thing, you're going to be decapitated, you know, and Lucinda's, but the main thing, get the damn front kicks up in the air. Okay, from here. Skip forward, 1, 2. Okay, now, wait a minute. Let's change the term. Let's talk to you directly. Leap forward. Okay? Leap, that's right. Leap, 1, 2, turn. Okay, now put that foot up there. 1, 2, push down. Stop. Is your thumb in the way? Oh, not bad. Okay, turn. 1, 2. Look at that hand. I prefer this way. I don't like a thumb curl like this all the time. I do it, but keep that thumb out of there. Okay, 1, 2. That's a palm hand now. Don't get that thumb in the way. It's a willow leaf palm. Okay, kick. 2, 1, 2. 1, 2. Oh, 1, 2, 3. Hit. 1, 2, 3. Okay, now be careful you don't get that little finger bent a lot. Get that thumb out of the way. Okay, front, round, back, 1, big action. Now there's two different ways they did that, and that is perhaps a failure of the understanding of the form. When you come here and you make this action, and you're moving around here, 1, 2. Make sure you get that with your shin, however you do it. But you're 1, 2, 3. Now this action here is I'm catching it on the oblique right here. 1, 2, and I kick here. So make sure that this foot comes forward on the oblique. 1, 2. There's a pulling there. Now get in sort of like a position and try that once. You're from here. You're front kicked on the oblique. Front kick 1, roundhouse 2. Well, actually, it's the other foot. You start okay, you get back and start front kicking with the left foot. Is that right? Left foot 1, roundhouse 2. Now this is a sweep in the same line. See, it's not over there. It's in the same line. 1, and put it down, and kick behind you. 2, recover before you hit. See, don't put your foot down and then recover. Recover and then put your foot down. So if I'm coming from here, again, 1, 2, and a roundhouse, and this foot's moving, 1, 2, 3. Okay, hold that, okay? Try it again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now 1. Okay, now back again. That has to be done with a real swing, and that's a very hard form. I'm moving 1, 2, 3. That has to be done almost immediately because I'm moving on Michael, and he's moving 1, 2. This has to come before that punch can come. 3. So it has to be really fast. So to do that, and the reason you're having trouble, because when I'm moving, this foot has to go where? If you put it here, you're screwed. You can't move it. So this foot has to be directly in line with this foot. And this foot has to move directly behind this one, close. for the action. Now just walk once with me. Get back here and walk. Put your foot here, 1. Move it in. Move it around here, 2, 3. Now we did that once before. We did it on a snap punch, did we not? Remember we did it this way? So when I'm standing here and I step out to do this action, it's very unreasonable for me to move this foot over here. That's unreasonable. How do we do it the easy way? When I start to drive, I move this foot in. And now that's the way to do it, see? So I'm starting here. Instead of going this way and having to put this way, because I got to be this way for my turn. Matter of fact, if you start this way, put your feet this way, and you feel like you got to turn, you're going to fall down, right? I move this foot, I'm standing here, and I move this foot straight out, which puts it in front of the other one. Now I put the foot down, and I turn, and I'm back into position. Okay, so we're really careful of that. And this form has that stuff all the way through it. So I'm standing here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and boom, and I'm gone. Now try it fast yourself. Try to make that run. Really fast. Well, that doesn't matter. Now watch. Watch. Mike was here. He's here. Do the action. He shifted that way, didn't he? How could he avoid that? Do it real slowly. That foot was placed wrong. See, when he came around, he reached 2.5 of this. So when you're moving this way, 1, 2, 3, put this foot close. This foot can't go out. That foot should be driven more forward. If you take it more forward, it won't go out. Try to move it forward further. Well, no, that's the idea. The left foot, just put the left foot out. Right. You're correct, though. There he is. You see, now, that means when he goes back, he has to go back on an angle. And remember, for years and years, it was a triangle. You never went back straight. And because people weren't moving correctly, we started going back straight. But actually, it's supposed to go back on an angle. So when I'm moving here, and my body's moving 1, 2, 3, 4. Look where I'm at. I'm still here. So whenever even I start here, it's not difficult. 1, 2, 3, 4. Or if I'm starting moving my foot in, I just go this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, which leaves me on my butt. Okay, you got the idea. Okay, now let's try it again. And get some motion here. We're from here. Right? Okay, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Boy, look at that. Right on that. Boy, that really zoomed, didn't it? Now let's go from here. 1. 1, 2, 3. You all know how to do that. That doesn't need any further discussion. Okay? But from here, turn 1, 2. Now be careful. Hey, that's right. Okay, step forward. 1, 2. Up 1. Now you're this way. Now watch my body. That's right. Now again, this is that same thing of pushing this foot out. 1. Turn 2. And jump kick. 1, 3. Boom. Good. Right there. Right there. Okay. Lead the form 3 times. Everybody get a spot. Don't be too fast with it. Let it go. I'll take a look. Yep.
Each. Kick. Press. Turn. Back around. 1, 2. Kick. Step 3.
Watch those big thumbs.
Big swoop. Kick. Turn. Front. Round. Press that back. Up. Press. Cut. Turn. Step through. Press up. Swipe. Throw. Sit strike. Step through. Cross. Up. Turn. Press, turn, strike, jump, down, up, flat.
Good. Okay, move out of the way. We're done with that. Any questions? Let's go to the second point that needs to be done. Lucinda? 3. Your thumbs are still bad. Bull leaf palm is the most serious error so far. Go. Good. 3. Do your version. Okay. Now we're here. 1, 2, 3. 1. 1. 1. That's a real deep swoop. 1, 2. Now you know what I'm doing on this, right? When I come out, he tackles me and I come up and I hit him this way. And when it comes over the thing, I'm hitting him here. See, so when I catch the technique from here, 1, 2, 3. You understand? Okay, we're from here again. We're from here. Go sweep 1. Okay, 1, 2, 3. It's a back fist. Make it a back fist. It's a hidden technique. Okay. Okay, now turn 1, 2. I'm this way. Now 2 this way. See, and what I've done is block. Now I poke his eyes, do a skip kick of any kind, preferably side kick. 1, 2, and turn 1. And then I grab him and I come completely around. Okay, go. Before. Okay, make sure when you come back here, Mike, do it again. Do it again. Yeah, you're right. Okay, go. Now see, this action here, make sure this action here is a really this kind of an action. Because actually this action probably hits here. All right, in this area. I don't know if it hits you that hard. But it hits here and it's just a recovery. So the point is not here. The point is hitting here. And then you go 1, 2, 3. And remember, coming down here is not an X block. It's a covering block with a punch. It's the same thing. See, do this. And then do this. The Japanese treat it this way. We don't. It's this way, but with the hands closed. Okay? Try it again. Try it again. Go. Yeah, you go. Okay, now the same thing high. Same thing as a covering block. High, it doesn't make any difference, but I never hold it. You can do this way if you want to. And then pull down. Okay, 1, 2. Now, a lot of people pull down to the side. I don't. I pull down to the front because I treat this as a punch, and I can't punch correctly from here. Can you? So when I pull down from here, if you pull down from here, how do you do a punch? Yeah. Okay. So even on here on 5, it's pull down for a punch. Get back here again. That's pretty good. You guys are pretty good at it. So we're not having much trouble with this. Okay, from here. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Punch. Good. Now this is a big action. Your foot sweeps. Go. And down, that's correct, but your thumbs are in the wrong place. Yeah, doggone willow leaf palm, you guys, and your thumbs. Okay, and from here, we just move 1. Turn and hit your hand. Kick and jump forward with a drop body punch. another stance.